Hey everyone, Ronnie Rowe back here again this week for another rendition of my YouTube video channel of Ronnie Rowe Designs, Ronnie Rowe Cross Stitch. That's what I do. I cross stitch. If you've never been here before, welcome. And all of you folks are nice enough to come back. I am so happy to have you back with me this week. It's been actually 2 weeks. I hope each and every one of you have had a great 2 weeks. I hope you've been healthy. I hope you've been able to get outside and get some exercise and do all of that. Hope you've gotten some stitching done this week, last couple of weeks. So anyway, I've done a lot this last 2 weeks, and we're going to delve into that in a moment. First of all, I'd like for you to hit the little subscribe button everywhere it is to subscribe to my channel. That will get you, as you well know, maybe a invite back to watch the new video, or if you're new, it'll get you on the list. I don't know if you want to get on the list, but anyway, that's what it'll do for you. And someone asked, how do you get off the list? I don't know. I don't know. Just don't watch, I guess. So, but anyway, I think you can unsubscribe if you want to, but I hope you don't. Anyway, what are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about several things today. We're going to talk about Pattern Keeper. We're going to talk about my new design I'm coming up with right now. And we're going to talk a little bit about cross stitch in general, as how I go about it and what my passion, if you will, to cross stitch and how I do things. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. First thing was mentioned was a Pattern Keeper. I got an email from a lady this week that was on my Etsy site looking at a lot of my designs and wanted to know if my designs were compatible with Pattern Keeper. And the simple answer to that is no. No, they're not. And the reason why is because the way I go about developing my patterns and what I do with changing everything around, and publishing my leaflets, if you will, they're just not. Now, a question did come up. My question is, can you take one of my designs, anyone, just name a design, and put it on a scanner and save it as a PDF file? Now, is that compatible with Pattern Keeper? I don't know. I haven't tried. I don't have Pattern Keeper, but I like for somebody to tell me that. I don't know if it works that way or not. But I know that the way I develop my charts in difference the way, let's say, Jules does hers is entirely, it's a different process, the way I put it together at the end to have printed material to sell to shops and also on my website and ST and other sites out there. So anyway, that's a question I needed to find out, and I really don't know the answer to that. What else we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about, hit the subscribe button, new design. What I have tried, I told you last time we talked, I got some black material from the nice people at Witchell Imports. They sent me some black material, and I've worked up something that I've done with flowers. And I know flowers, before you even start, I know people have done a lot of work with flowers. I know there's tons and tons and tons of cross stitch patterns out there with flowers. And but there are no cross stitch patterns out there designed by Ronnie Rowe with flowers until now. And so I am trying this, put a little wrinkle to it too, and it's going to be on a black material, and not the standard white what I use, but solid black 18 count material. So I'm in the process of working on some of that right now. I'm not at any close to any stage that I can show that to you right now. So, but anyway, it looks like that's going to be my next project. Okay, Orleans. I have finished Orleans. I have washed Orleans. I have matted it. I have put it on foam board, and it is complete. And what's the best way of putting this? When speaking for me, not other designers, when I do a pattern and I sit down figure out what I want to do, and I sit down and I cross stitch many, many hours of putting something together. And I build a frame and I map this thing, and I have put the wire on the back, everything ready, finished product. I get a high out of that. I really do. I really get this sense of, wow, I finished something. I finished this. And it's taken months and months to do. And it's something that I have always on my patterns been very, very passionate about, to start something and see it all the way through to the end. Several years ago, I did some patterns for a virtual show had come up, and I was able to do some patterns, 4 or 5 patterns, that I did not sit down there and cross stitch these. I did the pattern. And it's always in the back of my mind, I got this sense of feeling they weren't finished. They just weren't finished. I didn't finish the project. And until I frame it, and like I say, this is just me. This isn't everyone. Everyone doesn't work like me, because I'm something wrong up there in me. But this one, I got such a big, big rush and thrill out of Orleans, because it's a big project. It's something that I think, my opinion, I think is very good. It's something I don't know if I can come up with something or do something that's better than this. I really don't. I know I've done a lot of different things, musical instruments, homes. I've done cats. I've done dogs. I've done all of those type of things. I'm going to do flowers, and I don't really know right now if I can sit down there and come up with something that I think is as good as Orleans. And that's the way I feel, and I strongly feel, if you do something like that and you're passionate about it and you love to do it, you ought to think it's good. You ought to think your work is good, and you ought to, because you put a lot of effort into it and you put your best step forward, if you will, on this. And that's what I've done with this. I've put a lot, not just the sewing, but a lot of me in this pattern, and I really like it. I really do. I'm going to enter it in this year's Woodlawn National Show at Woodlawn Plantation, and I expect it to be received very, very well. And so anyway, I'm going to show you 2 versions of it. First one, I told you I wasn't going to show you the one with glass, but I am. This is the finished one, and then we're going to break into this video I'm doing, and I'm going to show you the same exact picture that I framed out without glass, so you won't see the shadow on that. But anyway, so any further ado, I've got to stand up. I've got to make some room, because this is a big design, a big picture. I built the frame, everything. So let me stand up so I can put it in front of my camera and you can see. So anyway, this is Orleans, all framed, as you can see. I did this I'm going to set this on my chair right here, because it's a heavy piece. I built this frame, this wood here. The wood log top right here came from Home Depot. This was just rough pine wood that I took, and I sprayed the same color as some of the colors of medium color within the picture itself. The molding you see right here, I glued onto the frame after it was complete, after I did the rabbits and everything in the back. And I took some rubbing silver compound that you can get in a little tube, and I rubbed all of this along here to make it silver to stand out in there. As far as the mat board goes, this mat board is called Script White. It's a mat board that at my local place that I go buy all my supplies, and it's mounted on a piece of foam board, and it is double mounted. So this is the finished product of Orleans. It's quite, as you can see, reference to me. This is a pretty large piece we have right here. If I take this ruler on it right here, let me go this way. across here, we've got 28 inches. That's 28 inches wide, and I think it's 30 some inches tall. So, but anyway, it's quite a big piece, and I think it turned out fabulous. I am, like I say, I'm really thrilled with this piece, and I don't know, I don't know if I can, I don't really know. Oh, let me show you the back. The back of it got all the mounting brackets on it and everything. The wire to hang, of course, paper on the back of the frame. And so that picture is complete and ready to hang. So, but like I say, I stitched this, and it's about the best I can do. If anybody's looking for Ronnie Rowe to do better than this, probably won't happen. I really put a lot into this one. This year, I've done four pictures, 4 or 5 pictures this year. I started off the first of the year with Morning Light. If you remember Morning Light, we worked with that through the videos, and I stitched all that up, had it framed. And then we moved on to Blue Haven. Blue Haven was one where we had the little pier going in with the blue rocks and the blue mountains. Got all that finished, stitched all up, finished product. Then we did Headlight. Remember the one Headlight? Took the Headlight. It was one that it just struck me as I wanted to do a headlight. I don't know why, but it turned out a lot of colors in that, multiple colors. And anyway, then we moved on to Orleans. And so that was 1, 2, that's 4 pictures this year, 4 designs. And now the new one I'm working on, I just got through telling you, on the black fabric. So that's what I'm working on. And that will take me, the one on the black fabric is going to take me the rest of the year, pretty much, to complete that. As far as designs goes, that's it. I haven't come out with any new stuff because I'm really going to get back to the way I was doing it a long time ago when I started. When I do a design now, I'm going to stitch it. I'm not going to sit down there and put a design and not have it stitched and everything to final, because that's, and again, that's just me. It's just me, the way I work. And to me, it's not finished unless I do that. So, and I guess I get this from my wife also. When you start something like that, you just go finish through it. But anyway, that's where we are. I hope you enjoyed Orleans. That's what I'm gonna call it. As far as these patterns, the patterns for Blue Haven, Morning Light, Headlights, and Orleans are not out as a pattern yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to put Orleans out as a pattern. I'm not sure if I'm going to even put it out. I'm so happy with this, and so I really like that. I think that's going. I don't know what I'm going to do, but if I do put it out, it'll go to the distributors. It'll go to the shops first, and then if I decide at some point in time to put it on my SD or my page and everything, I'll do so. I'll make the decision at that time, but I know I won't put it out probably until the distributors and shops have a shot at this one. So anyway, that's what's going on in Ronnie Rowe world with cross stitch. Now, what else I want to talk about is future of this video. I've enjoyed doing this video. When I first started, I didn't know, well, do I really want to do this? Do I want to go on camera? Do I want to? I waited back and forth, and I knew very little about it. I didn't know how to even go about it. And I figured that out. And once I got going, I thought, well, that's cool. I've enjoyed that. And each week or 2 weeks, we've been getting together with these videos. I've gotten good response from them. But it's become a point now with what I'm doing. It's going to take me so long on the next project. I'm not sure I'm going to do another video in 2 weeks or 3 weeks or when, unless something comes up that I find extremely interesting to talk about. I don't want to do a video and just go on and on and on like that. We've covered a lot of subjects since I've been doing this. We've covered subjects from picking a mat, picking a frame, doing the cross stitch, the count of material, colors you put in it. I've even showed you videos of how I use Affinity Designer, Affinity Photos, and various other programs to get the final product, and being able to manipulate various things within those programs to come up with a counter cross stitch design. Showed you all of that. And so I don't know what's left. I don't know what's left for me to sit down there and tell you about. But if I do think of something and I do come up with something I think it's interesting and I'd like to share with you, I'm certainly going to put a video out. Don't unsubscribe. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be around, but I'm just not going on a weekly basis just to re-show you Morning Light or re-show you one of these. So anyway, that's where we are right now. I'm enjoying myself. I'm looking forward to fall coming on. Been watching a lot of football. Boy, I've been watching football. I'm watching way too much football. I know more about football, college football, than some of these coaches do. Trust me. And but anyway, I'll be doing that this Saturday. I know. Uh, but until then, I want to thank each and every one of you for coming back and taking a look at what I've been doing, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed doing this, but like I say, time has come. We're gonna unless we really have something important to say, there's no point. So I will be seeing you soon. And before I leave you, I want to remind you what I tell you every time, each and every one of you, I appreciate so very, very much for watching me and your support over this short period, or many years before I did the videos, but for the short period we've been doing these. But the one thing I want to leave with you, I want each and every one of you to do me one favor. That's be safe and come back to see me soon. Bye-bye.